looking ahead a little bit, next 3-4 games on the road. Is that something where you kind of have to think about this next month of games, if you will, in kind of like a chunk? Like this is going to be a grind over these next 4 weeks, or as people always say, are you just taking it game by game?
Uh, Me personally, I just look at the next week. The more you start to look ahead, the more focus you lose. So I just take it game by game. That's something that Coach Gundy, Coach Dickey, Coach Dunn, everybody preaches to us is one game at a time.
What kind of a challenge does the Texas defensive front pose for you guys?
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for us this week. They're physical, they're big, they're really active. They get after the quarterback. They move really well. They hold up in space. So yeah, it's going to be a great challenge for us up front. We're going to have to play the best we've played all year and be physical.
You guys were really starting to find some continuity up front. Does an extra week help that with the bye week? Does that help you guys advance even more as a unit?
Yeah, I think it does. Just from the standpoint of, you really get back to fundamentals and what being a true offensive lineman is. You necessarily don't have to game plan for a team because you get the week off. So that just kind of lets you get back to your fundamentals, more individual time, so you get to spend more individual time with Coach Dickey. So you just get to kind of hone in on your technique a little bit, and it just helps us get a feel even more for each other of what we all feel and what we all think.
How often do you find yourself locking up with Tyler Lacey in practice, and what I guess issues does he present to you when you're having to face him?
Usually I don't go against Tyler much unless it's maybe a one-on-one here or there, or maybe an odd look that the defense gives us. But for the most time he's lined up at defensive end, so I don't really get to go against him much. But the times I do, he's quick. He's got a great twitch off the ball. He's super athletic, and he never gives up. He never quits. The ball could be 20 yards down the field, and he's sprinting down the field after it. So it's just a guy, just a high effort guy that just never gives up.
Same kind of question, but about Israel Antoine. What does he do well on the defensive line?
No, he's the same way. But he anchors really well against double teams. It's really hard to get moving against. Super strong. He's another person that's just super athletic. And when you get a guy like that can bend well and anchor well against double teams and hold his own, he causes problems.
Not being from around here, I imagine you stayed here for your bye week. Any
Yes.
fun stories from it?
Not really. I just kind of hung out at my house. Had the house to myself this weekend. My roommate left, so I just kind of watched TV, hung out with a couple of the guys. They came over to watch football, but that's about it.
Josh, what is it about 11 a.m. kickoffs that make it more special for you guys? Because you guys have had success when you guys kick off early rather than late in Texas.
I think the biggest thing for me that I look at really is, with the night game, you just sit around. So it's like you feel like you have nothing to do, and like all you think about is just the game. So you sit there, and I just feel like the day takes 30 hours. Because you go down, you have breakfast, you have meetings, do all that stuff. Well, then you go back up to your room, you get an hour and a half, 2 hours to kind of sit around, do whatever you want, watch TV, and that's what really takes the longest. And then from that point, you go back, you have a pregame meal, some more meetings, you get on the bus. So for me, the day just drags on to where you get an 11 o'clock game, and it's like you wake up and bam, you're playing. And plus, for me, I live 15 hours away. So when my mom and dad come in for the games, they leave right after the game. So an earlier game, I get to spend more time with them and see them more. So I enjoy earlier games.
With an earlier kick, does it make it more like a business trip, knowing that you basically wake up and go hit somebody?
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Like I said, you wake up and it all happens so quick. It's like it's over before you know it. And you look back and it's like, wow, that was quick. But yeah, it's just, you just wake up, go out, do your job, do your thing, and get back on the bus, come back on the plane, and hopefully come back with a win.
I think against Baylor, it was pretty visible watching you celebrate on the sideline when the defense made some big plays. I don't know exactly what plays. What are those moments like for you when you're watching there and get to celebrate?
It's huge. You see Malcolm, Colby, Tyler, Israel, Evers, all those guys put in so much hard work. I mean, heck, we go year round, but I think the longest break we get is like 2.5, 3 weeks a month. And, it's a year round sport. So when you see guys that have put all the work in throughout the off season and see it pay off in big moments in games, you know, in front of a packed home crowd. You know, it's everything. It's huge. That's why you play the game, to make plays like that. So you know, you can't do anything but be excited for those guys, celebrate with them, and just have a good time, live in the moment.
Anything else for Josh?
Coming off of Baylor, what's sort of been the emphasis as far as what you guys can improve on in pass protection in particular?
Really just fundamentals. I mean, you know, Coach Dickey preaches it every day. Heck, you watch the great ones that have outstanding, incredibly great technique. So that's one thing we've just really focused on, is just our technique every day. You know, Coach Dickey comes out and, you know, we don't do the same stuff every day. We do different drills every day. So, you know, he constantly has new stuff for us to learn and get better at. So just technique and fundamentals.
Thanks, Josh.